Hello, 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 ladies and gelatins, blobs and gels. Welcome to. That's the wrong button. Welcome to the last Monday of spooky season. I mean, okay, listen, spooky season lives forever in my heart, so even when it's gonna be November, I'll still be thinking spooky thoughts the whole time. Yes, hello, Niner. And hello, Algo and Kira. Okay, that's really cute. The adorbs. Article? Yo, okay. That's awesome. That's not spooky. That's cool. Congratulations. That's really, really cool. What's it about? What's this one about? I mean, listen, you gotta tell us all, at least give us a little trailer, a teaser for something cool that you made, right? And what else was I saying? Right, yeah. I can't believe October is already pretty much Octobered. Like, listen, I know we have not actually hit the Halloween yet, but we are really close. And it's gonna just bam, and then suddenly it's gonna be Thanksgiving, and then bam, like again, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be Christmas. And it won't be the worst thing ever, but it'll also be like, what happened? Oh my gosh. Life has been a little crazy lately for sure, but you know, still finding some good times, good things to do, still playing more of the Pokemon Z, which I am enjoying a lot. And honestly, like it's actually weird because like as I got closer to like endgame stuff, which don't worry, no spoilers, but as I got closer to endgame stuff, I was like, wait, why are there like more scene changes happening now? Like why are there more locations suddenly happening? And it made me feel like I feel like there were certain parts of the game that were made by certain people and certain parts of the game that were made by other people. I mean, that's definitely how it always works. But like, it just feels like a lot of stuff is shoved towards the end, which is fine. It's cool. Like, it makes it be like, oh, wow, I'm going to a new, like, zone. That's nifty. I did not expect this. It's actually really cool here. Wait, why have this been only happening now? But I like it. I like it. I am analysis of the murder on the Yangtze River through a lens of both detective fiction and historical games, therefore positioning it as a post-colonial tool of reclaiming historical discourse by the interested parties. Yes. Yes. That sounds really cool. That sounds very cool and makes me want to play more detective games. Which also reminds me, I still have to finish like the Ace Attorney trilogy one day. Did I even make it to the third? I think I made it to the third game. I think I got to the third game, but I don't remember. I'll have to check one day. One day. But yeah, first and foremost, listen, we got ourselves a detective game happening right now. Like we got detective stuff happening all the time. And we're like in the middle of something. Like I had to stop in the middle and be like, guys, guys, it keeps going. It keeps going, which is great. But I gotta go to bed. Right? You know? Okay. I mean, listen, you're making me definitely want to play this. Does it go on sale often? Cause like and obviously I'm hoping to play it in also, English. Yeah, honestly, I would say definitely new Pokemon game does actually benefit from being in the single city. Like they can definitely do a lot of cool stuff being in the city. I feel like there's definitely some moments though where I'm like, we could have done a little more. We could have done a little more here. And I'm not upset about it. It like, but I'm excited for it. And it actually does make me really consider the DLC when that's going to come out in like February. I'll find out what's going to be in the DLC first before I go for it. But like, I'm also having enough fun with Pokemon Za that I'm like, also, I really want to finish all the side quests, which is very not like me. Usually I'm like, oh, cool, main story, I'm good, I'm done. Nah, I'm enjoying stuff and the side quests are either really, really quick and simple, or sometimes they're like really fun. Like this one, which like uh involves a bunch of spupa. That's all I will say. That one's my favorite side quest of all the side quests. Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Let's definitely get the show on the road today. I want to know what's happening. Okay. Answer. All right, we're just going to continue from here. Just what we were doing before. We're good. We're good. Oh, yeah. Plot review. Plot review of this game. Right. So let me actually pull out to here. So we are at like, okay, so we have a bad end, which gets to 14, but it's a bad end, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, so we're at like 1 p.m. here. We're at the 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And basically where we're at right now with Achi is that Achi is absolutely still like he's just being the hero. He's being the hero. He's got Hitomi, and we're locked in effectively a very large storage closet for a theater troupe that has come up in the blue text a lot. Achi's story is overall really simple. Like it's confusing in that you're in the same mystery as him. Is like, hey, how is the guy with the cane still following us, and why is the foreigner also like this whole foreign guy also following us? Like, are they fighting each other? Who are these people who are following Hitomi? Why does Hitomi need to die? These are all questions that I need to have answered, and I'm very certain that it's related to the Osawa plot, because it shows him like, oh, I did a thing I needed to do. Did he inject one of his daughters with something that will make her like contagious later on? Like, is that a thing that could happen? I don't know. That's kind of a question that I have. So Osawa's plot here, you go from the beginning. This is a virologist. He is super work obsessed, not a good husband, not a great father. He's trying in his own way, but like, Resident Evil 2, that's actually the thing. And Kira mentioned this actually a while ago about how like so much Japanese media like has these themes of like biological outbreaks, like cruel experiments and stuff. And like more and more and more, like I see like a lot of Japanese games have exactly that theme as one of the things, and it's huge. And I can't remember. I feel like I was also reading something about this too, for why, but I cannot, for the life of me, remember. But it's cool. It's really cool because it's always interesting. It's always scary in a way. It's like, because I don't know. Japan does probably the best like biological horror, because it's like body horror. They do the best biological horror in terms of like biological weapons, etc. Yeah, yes, high key. Like I would say, like for me, yeah, mystery and horror to question the ethics of science. That's very true, and it's great. I love it. I will always love this theme, and it doesn't really get old because it's not a solved problem. It's not a problem humanity can solve. We cannot solve the problem of ethics. Like, because the fact is, so much of what we rely on as a species comes from the death and tragedy of so many people. Like, if we're even going back further, before like the original, like the OG, I'm talking OG scientists, before we had words for science, were people who were just eating stuff and finding out whether or not it would kill you, and whether or not they died determined whether or not the future generations would die or live, based on the new edible thing we found or the new non-edible thing no one else was gonna eat. Like, and it just goes from there, right? Because like, how else do you test if something's edible before you have any kind of tests to know like what things can be made of? There's a lot of that. Right? But anyways, Osawa's story is one of the most interesting, but I dislike him more and more as a character, but it's good. It's a good dislike. Like, I enjoy playing his thread very much, but it also makes me very upset at the same time. Like, oh, so this man has not stepped foot in a kitchen. Like, this man does not cook, this man does not clean. And like, you start to understand, like, in what you, like, his, like, at the very beginning, you feel some sympathy for him because, like, oh, I just want to do my work. Oh, I'm getting threatening blackmail. Oh, my wife hates me, but it's okay because, you know, that's what marriage is about. And you're like, oh, poor guy. But no, he's actually also just, like, incapable of humaning. He can't, like, no one, any wife, would hate him. Like, straight up. No. Like, no, absolutely not. Oh my god. So, right. This is a little shame. We enjoy Japanese body horror because it's mostly about implications. Yes! Oh, that's a really good way to put it, because that's exactly what it is. It's what is the implication of something? What could it mean if you do X, Y, Z? Like, it's much more interesting. It draws you in and it sticks with you. But like, gore and gruesome stuff is just bleh. Bleh. No, not for me. I don't like it. Predates Unit 731. It started pre-war in response to state-assisted science, pushing the boundaries to uncomfortable degrees. Last time basically flatly states that popular fiction authors of 1930s Japan directly predicted and warned about atrocities to come in tintless. You know, that's also reminding me a lot about, like, a lot of fiction that we have, and yet it feels like we're getting close. Like, I swear, like, cyberpunk universe, Idiocracy, sometimes I feel like we're getting closer to those every day. Right? Exactly. Like, I understand that some people, like, they take a long time to learn to cook. I understand that there are some situations where you can just, like, kind of figure out how to do stuff, and if you make just enough money that you can order food all the time. I know some people who do that. I know people who do catering and stuff. But also, it is a basic human skill, and if you don't, this guy can't even use a microwave. Like, that's a level of, like, oh, that says so much. And I know it's hyperbole. It's meant to be hyperbole. It's meant to, like, point out a finger of, oh, ha ha ha, he's not like me who can't cook. He can't even use a microwave. Me, like, Joe Randomson, I can use a microwave, therefore I'm still better than him. Like, I feel like they added that just to be like, just in case we're not poking fun at very close to real life some people. Yeah, exactly. If you have a kid, 110%, like, if you cannot cook, please learn before having a kid. If you have never cooked for your kid, you're bad. Like, I would agree with that. Like, exactly. If you don't change diapers, if you don't cook, if you don't clean, and you are a parent, you are not really being a parent, you are another child in this household. Like, that's what's happening. Thank you, yes. I 100% agree, 100%. Extract some quotes from the book, yes. I'm down. All right, so whose other stories? We got Tama, whose story has gone also a delightful direction. Apparently Tama... Okay, Tama is a person stuck in a cat costume. And this person stuck in a cat costume actually, like, knows martial arts, but also has amnesia, has no idea who she is, but also really needs to buy this necklace, which is why she gets caught up in this really weird scam job, but then, and like, it all falls apart, but then she gets the money anyways, which is really interesting, and we're gonna find out about that in the future, that's for sure. But I tried to get her to take off the costume, so maybe we'll see. I still think that Tama is the other sister, but, like, you know, that's just a fun little hopes and dreams. Okay, who else? Kano, the classic. I feel like Kano is basically like the vanilla main character. Like, everyone's a main character, but Kano feels like the mainest character, if you know what I mean? Because, like, it feels like all of Kano's story has the most blocks, the most bad ends, and, like, the most direct connection to the main mystery, which is solving the kidnapping of Hitomi's sister, Maria. So we are going to find out about that. And he's currently stuck in a bad end because he is questioning a suspect forever. Every time he questions someone, he gets stuck there forever. Tom was the fourth player who joined the campaign at last moment, had no character ready, and the only picture on their phone with Kakao. A little bit, but it works out really well, and I really like Tama a lot, honestly. Playing Tama is also just a delight. Okay, also Tama knows hypnosis, like real hypnosis, which is crazy, and I need to cough 1 second. Don't worry, I have liquids nearby to deal with that. Also, I like how they went out of their way to put the cafe with like the Pokemon E. Okay, I know it's not like the Pokemon E. I know that like it just feels like when Japanese like when I see the E with the accents in Japanese, it's 99% of the time it's Pokemon. So yeah, you know, that's what it is. Anyways, okay, so Minorikawa, I feel like, okay, if we're talking about like characters in this game, like Minorikawa is like the most isolated character. Like he's definitely relevant to the stories and he matters, but at the same time, like he's a journalist who's like, I know he's gonna get involved with all of these stories at some point, but right now, for the most part, he's mostly only met the cat and the burning hammer and that stuff, and like getting some ideas about other things going on, like with the Achi and the gang he used to be in and all this stuff. Like all these characters have really interesting backstories and all of them have really interesting ways of interacting with each other. Minorikawa just like, as a character, he is over the top and crazy, very interesting, very unique character. I wouldn't say he's my favorite. I wouldn't say he's my least favorite. He just like, I wouldn't even say he's in the middle either because he's, so but what? I don't know. Like it's just, it's not an axis from least to best. It's just there's some other axes there, which is weird enjoyment, and he's pretty high on the weird enjoyment scale. The weirdness. I think we got Minorikawa to the end somehow, so that's good. We just need to, you know, get that for the rest of them. So that's pretty much like, I forgot Minorikawa, right? I actually do forget about Minorikawa a lot as well. It's like, despite the fact that his story started the darkest, where like, if you fail at the very beginning, which is almost impossible not to, because you have to do something else with another character to make sure that the thing doesn't happen, you literally walk into a room where the person you're trying to save is has hung themselves. It's a very dark start there. But then like the character itself and the rest of his thread is very much like, I'm here to do some journalism, and you're like, all right, get it, dude. Like journalist in the most anime way you can imagine. So, but yeah, all right, let's go. Let's dive in and continue. I hope that's enough of a, like, I guess a recap of some things to at least get anyone back into the speed of like, here's where we are, here's what I'm excited about, here's what my theories are, and go from there. Hitomi tried calling repeatedly, but Tanaka didn't pick up. What could have happened? She muttered under her breath. Do you think maybe the kidnappers found out Mr. Tanaka and I had been in contact? Achi shrugged. Looks like they were just going to need to find some way out of here on their own and then maybe look for the minivan themselves. Achi strode over to the door and grabbed hold of the knob. He tried giving it a good sturdy pull. Ugh, no good. This thing won't even budge. The door opens outward. Wait, really? Achi tried giving it a push. Still didn't open. He kicked it. Oh. Door wasn't nearly as sturdy as Achi had expected. I think we can make this work. He backed up to get a running start, then kicked the door with all his might. Yeah! The door went flying off its hinges. Oh man, that was way too easy. Mostly because the people don't really expect doors to be drop-kicked open. Oh my gosh, I have to hard agree with that. Like, no, I miss tabletop RPGs so much. But yes, there would be so much side conversation about stuff. And the characters would be like, oh my god, okay, but what if it's like this? What if it's like this? Okay, what if we should do this or this or this or this? Or what, okay, what about this? Also, this is also an option. We get through stuff eventually. I think it'd just be hard to make decisions because there'd be too many possible fun things to do. Achi stepped cautiously out of the storeroom. He quickly scanned the surrounding area. There was nobody in sight. Looks like we're in the clear, he called. But Hitomi didn't come out, nor did she reply. Hitomi? She had her phone in hand, apparently still trying to get in touch with Tanaka. With a tiny sigh, Achi leaned against the wall and waited for her to finish. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to have any luck, she said. You know we can leave now, right? Are you still holding out for hope for your Mr. Tanaka? It's not that, I'm just a little worried. Oh, yeah? Okie dokie then, I'll just wait around out here. Okay, I'll be right with you. Mm-hmm. Achi shuffled his way back outside. Oh! Oh, crap. By the time Achi could finish processing the thought, he was already laid out on the ground. His jaw hit the asphalt hard. He bit the tip of his tongue clean off. The taste of blood filled his mouth. Oh, is that the Yamcha death pose? I think it is. It's a really, really suspiciously splayed death pose. A moment later, he took a sharp blow to the head. He was done for. All the energy drained from his body. His mind whirled. His vision grew hazy. He began to drift from consciousness. Back when he'd run with Susumu and others, he'd never left himself exposed to a surprise attack. There were plenty of times where he'd taken a punch that sent him reeling, only to spin away and come back swinging. This time, he hadn't even seen it coming. It was his last mistake. Guess I've let myself go soft. Achi grimaced inwardly, muttering in a voice no one but he could hear. Tomi, I'm so sorry. Classics. Oh yes, that's a hella classic. It's not a funny situation. I know it's not a funny situation, but it's funny the way they do it because, like, it's obviously a bad end. Like, it's obviously not supposed to happen, but... Oh, man. Achi successfully managed to break out of the storeroom, only to be knocked out by the man with the cane while he waited for Tomi. Things might have gone differently if Tomi had managed to get in contact with Tanaka. Why hadn't he responded to her calls? Maybe something strange had happened at the Osawa residence. Maybe there was some other reason. Alright, guess we gotta go back to Osawa. Mr. Osawa, it's Kajiwara. Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective in the study. Bug tracker's picking up signals. Oh? It's from all over the room. I mean, we already know this. Osawa, please come down. 10, maybe no, 100. All of a sudden, a different noise cut in over the bug tracker. Kajiwara here. Kano? Kajiwara's customary nonchalant expression vanished into sudden seriousness. Sorry, hold on. I can't really hear you. He headed out of the room, the phone clutched to his ear. Osawa was left to wonder what the detective had been about to tell him. The bug tracker was what? What the heck was going on? The sound wasn't stopping. Deciding he better do something, Osawa took the bug tracker and checked behind the bookcase. It didn't seem like the signal was coming from back there. He proceeded to pull each and every one of the books off the shelves. Nothing. He checked the area around his computer, scanned the monitor, the case, the power outlet. He found nothing that could be a listening device anywhere. Oh my gosh. He found a small screwdriver and dismantled the mouse. The brown circuit board was lined with chips, but nothing appeared out of the ordinary. Still, the mechanical sound continued, mocking him. Just try to find it. Go ahead. Look everywhere. Beep, 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 beep. He was being ridiculed. The sound just wouldn't stop. And still the time ticked past. Had it been 5 minutes, 10, maybe more? He began to lose hope that he could find the listening device and even to stop caring. Instead, he was overcome with the feeling that this room, which for years had been his sanctuary, had ceased to be his own. It was as if something other had intruded and laid claim to his personal space. In his fevered mind, he began to hear the trekker's sound as a high-pitched laugh, an accursed, relentless noise, cruel and taunting, the mockery of the devil himself. Osawa hurled the bug tracker against the wall, and he picked it up, only to smash it back onto the floor and stomped on it ferociously, a satisfying snap accompanied by the sensation of the thing being crushed underfoot. The noise stopped. Or, well, it ought to have. And yet, for some reason, the horrid noise kept sounding in Osawa's ears. It wasn't coming from the bug tracker after all. It was inside his own head, somewhere, inescapable, echoing within his skull. No, the noise didn't stop. It only grew louder. Why? 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 Osawa screamed. Why? Why was he being tormented like this? He couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't think straight anymore. He felt his mind beginning to dissolve. I guess, the incessant beeping from the bug tracker wound up driving Osawa out of his mind. What Kajiwara was about to say just before he got the phone call was pretty crucial for Osawa to hear. Okay, so he has to call someone else. All right, let's go back to Kano, make him call someone else. You're gonna dial up Sasayama. It's kind of a weak bet. It was intense, though. Like, I get it. He goes crazy. I mean, it's fine. It's fine because, like, I don't even know how Kajiwara was gone that long, because, like, I remember the conversation on this end, story-wise. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, listen, it's probably just meant to be a really simple one to get you to make sure you call someone else. He dialed up Sasayama. He wanted to make sure his partner had gotten Al-Karawan back to his precinct safely. Sasayama picked up almost right away. Kano, what's up? How are things on your end? Any problems getting Al-Karawan back? Nah, I've got Tateno taking care of him. Wait, what? Kano could hardly believe his ears. You were in touch with Tateno, yes? He could hear the shock in his own voice. Yeah, just bumped into him over by the precinct a little while ago. And he is safe. Kano felt a surge of relief. What about Hitomi then? Stanley glanced over at him, curious. Tateno said he lost track of her somehow. Then he got called back to the precinct, apparently. Tateno had lost track of her? That's not like him, Kano thought. Since he was heading back there anyway, I handed our guy over to him. I see. Kano was glad to hear that Tateno was alright, but his relief was tempered by a surge of anger at the thought of what had happened to Hitomi. Now I'm back to tailing the attaché case. Sasayama continued. Today is my wife's birthday, you know? Oh. My plan is to wrap things up ASAP so we can celebrate tonight. I've already got a present and everything. I envy you, man. Closing his eyes, Kano took a moment to picture Rumi. Shizuo's face popped into his mind's eye right alongside her. Well, just hang in there, buddy, even if your girlfriend is just a picture of Masumi Nagahama. Midoriyama Academy graduate and national celebrity, her popularity shows no signs of slowing down after she played the female lead in such films such as The Beast That Hoarded Gold at the Heart of the World and The Swidden Fortress. Swidden. Is that a word? There is another nationally famous asterisk with the same name, but it is a nationally known fact that the two are completely separate people. Still snickering, Sasayama hung up. Kano bit his lip and slipped his phone back in his pocket. At long last, traffic began to move again. Stanley had to slam on the brakes. Yes, look. It's all Carawan. Let me go. Okay. I guess we'll just take it back to here because it seems it's the same bad end. Yeah, it's the same bad end. But we get to. Oh well. Keep out. Wait, what? Okay, we get back here and then we have a keep out. Okay, it's fine again. Okay. Okay, we tried to call at about 13:30. What happened? Worse. I'm confused. I think we've laid low long enough. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna skip until, like, I can get to the thing. Swidden is a word. An area of land cleared for cultivation by slashing and burning vegetation. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't exactly be often used these days. Hidden Fortress, a legendary samurai movie. Oh, for sure. Oh, come on. Are you freaking kidding me? We're locked in. The door was the only way in or out. We've seen this before. It's just different that we're seeing it. We have to, specifically, Tanaka needs to... It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Okay. So began typing out a response with practiced ease. More wild delusions rose in Achi's mind. Ideas or fantasy conjured up in one's mind with no logical or factual basis. People can become deluded for varying reasons, about a whole host of different subjects. Thankfully, Achi's delusions here are of an ultimately harmless sort. Oh. Yes. Harmless. Still. Stealing a quick glance at Hitomi, noticed her gazing happily at her phone's screen. His delusions ran even more wild. It's not like that. It's really not. While he was still fretting furiously, Hitomi finished typing her response. So, what did you wind up saying? Achi asked. I explained the situation. That we're trapped in a storeroom. You got some guys chasing after you and you're looking for some band? Yeah. I also asked him to please keep this a secret from my family and the police. Whoever this Tanaka guy was, Hitomi sure seemed to put a lot of trust into him. A short while later, Hitomi's phone chimed in with a reply. She checked the screen in a flash, on all eagerness. Achi, couldn't help but ask, so what does Tanaka guy have to say? A hint of jealousy slipped into his voice. Says he's gonna try to find the minivan for us. Huh? If he just comes and let us out, I can go look for it myself. He says he wants us to hide out here a little longer. Huh? What the hell, seriously? He says that if someone's after me, it's safer to stay where we are. Yeah, I'm out of the running, Achi thought to himself. This Tanaka was clearly pretty concerned for her. There was really only one reason a middle-aged man... No, there's a lot of reasons that a person would be afraid for the safety of a girl who's being, whose sister was kidnapped and she's being chased by a man with a gun, right? Alright, fine. We'll wait. Achi turned his own phone off and slumped back in a huff. After 20 more minutes in the storeroom, the two were sitting in silence. Achi had run out of things to talk about. Do you think you'll ever be friends again? You and that one guy, Susumu, I think it was? Tomi's question caught Achi off guard. He stammered, unsure how to respond. Tomi shook her head. I'm so sorry. Barely know you. That was insensitive of me. No, it's all right. I mean, sometimes I wish things could go back the way they used to be, Ashi said. He let out a tiny sigh. What that Kiryu's guy said was the truth. I was the guy who founded SOS. Do you know what I mean by that? Timmy gave a slight nod. I mean, I never wanted to be in charge of a gang or anything, but I knew that if I left, SOS would just fall apart, and I didn't want everyone else to get all caught up and over who would take my place, you know? So I thought long and hard about it, looking for a way for folks to stay friends even after I was gone. The loud voice echoed through the pool hall that served as SOS headquarters, an establishment for playing pool, more formally known as pocket billiards. I don't think anyone has ever called it that in their whole life, though. This particular place is a pool bar serving alcohol. The standard pool table is rectangular in shape, sports 6 pouches, 4 in the corners, 2 in the middle, and supports multiple games, including 9-ball, 8-ball, and rotation. There are also tables without pockets. The style is known as harem billiards. What would you do without the pockets? What do you mean you're leaving? Susumu was positively red in the face. You're a founder, Achi. You can't just up and quit. Susumu had almost become like a younger brother to Achi. If anyone was going to try to stop him, Achi knew full well it would be Susumu. Look, I'm not gang leader material. All I've been trying to do is make sure we're all able to have fun. It's not true, Susumu said. Think about all that stuff you taught us. Don't you remember? Every man gets to make one request in his life that cannot be denied. Those are your words, Achi. Did I say that? It's the heaviest thing you've ever said. Then to Achi's consternation, Susumu got down on his hands and knees. I'm begging you, please don't leave. Without you, SOS is nothing. Achi could feel his conviction waver. I'm begging you here, from one man to another. This is my one request. Oh. Susumu, I'm sorry. Achi could barely croak out the words. I'm leaving you in charge. You can't. Please don't say that. Achi turned his back to him in silence. Please, Achi, why won't you listen? I can't possibly beg any harder than this. Enough with all the request nonsense. Achi grimaced. What? Look at you, down on your hands and knees like that. Pathetic. Why? Why would Achi be like that? Ultimately, stems from the Greek pathetikos, meaning subject to feeling or capable of emotion. Over time, the meaning changed to signify exciting the passions, and later on to the more modern sense of arousing one's pity. Achi spoke as harshly as he could, fighting to mask his true feelings. Right, the once in a lifetime request, and like Susumu's friend, like why is he leaving? Why is Achi leaving? Fed up with you, all of you. With each word out of his mouth, Achi could feel his own heart breaking. If he could make the others hate him, at least it would give SOS a reason to stay together. How can you say that? Don't try to pull that crap. Susumu's tone had changed from sadness to anger. Fine then, he railed. I'm never asking you for anything again. I'll do what you want. I'll take the reins of SOS. Achi walked away, waving vaguely without looking back. Luck. I mean it. Once he stepped out of the pool hall, he wiped his sleeve across his face and came away wet with tears. But why? Sometimes I think that maybe I could apologize to those guys and we could go back to the good old days again. But that's never going to happen, not unless Suzune gets better. He stared in the distance at nothing particular. At least he sorted out how he felt about his old pals. Is there nothing that can help your sister? Sumi asked. She needs a heart transplant. And the problem with heart transplants is the timing is tricky. The act of surgically implanting one person's heart into another's body. Such an operation is typically only performed on a patient with severe heart disease that cannot survive without a new heart. There are strict requirements that must be met before a heart can be transplanted. However, chief among them, that the donor must first be brain dead. Even if there's a donor available, the transplant has to be performed within 4 hours or things get dicey. Because lack of oxygen causes damage, referred to as warm ischemia damage. In any other organ removed from a human body, a transplant must be carried out and blood circulation restored within a certain time window, known as the total ischemic, word. Time. In the case of a heart transplant, total ischemic time is only 4 hours. Helicopters and charter jets are frequently used to rapidly transport hearts for such operations. Oh, wow, I didn't realize. Someone with a heart that's a match for Suzune would need to die somewhere near her, somewhere where they could perform the surgery within that 4-hour window. Odds of that happening are so small it would be almost a miracle, which is what my sister's been waiting for. Achi thumped the left side of his chest. If my heart would do the trick, I'd gladly let her have it. Damn it, and I've got a strong heart, too. He thumped himself on the chest again and again. He didn't mention it to Hitomi, but Suzune's blood type made finding her heart transplant even more difficult. She had Bombay blood. Oh, what? A type of blood that does not correspond to the more common types of A, B, O, or AB. In some instances, a standard blood type yields a result of O in such individuals. First discovered in the city of Bombay, now Mumbai, on India's west coast, the blood type takes its name from the city due to its relatively high incidence rate among its inhabitants. Whoa, so it's this crazy rare. It was one of the rarest blood types in the world. Apparently there were only a few dozen people in all of Japan who had it. Yeah. Oh, usually it's from more close family blood types. I wonder if the writers knew that or if they just found the rarest blood. I feel like they just found the rarest blood. I don't feel like they have those kind of implications. Rare blood types such as Bombay are scarce enough that even nationwide blood centers seldom have them in sufficient supply. For this reason, when such blood types are discovered in everyday testing, samples are quickly taken to be frozen and stored at temperatures lower than 80 degrees below centigrade. If Suzune were ever to receive a heart transplant, it would need to be someone who also had Bombay blood. It's like 30 blood types. Really? 30 of them? Whoa, but I mean, it's still really cool, though. That still looks super cool. Hachi? To me, it sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Wow, she must really feel bad for Suzune. It is a mirror of six. Welcome. I am wearing a Halloween costume. Thank you. Hail Hydrate. Yum. Honestly, quick thing about hydration. It's something about Europe is that it's really common to have these syrups where you just pour water into it and you make a flavor. I'd never really seen those in the States at all. And so when I came here, seeing them being extremely popular. I mean, okay, outside of making alcoholic beverages, I've seen them for making cocktails and stuff, but that's kind of how I associated them in my head. It's for cocktails and stuff. No, it's just a thing to make water have a flavor, and not always by juice. And because it lasts basically forever on the counter, you can just always kind of add a little bit of flavor to stuff. It's crazy, and I like it. And I got one that's it is a passion fruit peach, and very good. Sorry, my brain sometimes is yes, I know the words in Polish. Why is nothing else coming? Good times. But yes. If you did manage to find a heart for your sister, what would you do? What do you mean? Say if you happened to cross someone who was a donor match. I would do anything. Anything? Yeah, whatever it took. I'd risk my own life if it meant helping Suzune. I mean, at that point, I'd assume God had granted me a miracle or something, you know? Mr. Tanaka? Unfortunately for these two, it's not Mr. Tanaka. Right now, Tanaka's at the Osawa residence on his way to speak with Kenji Osawa, who's washing dishes after lunch. Looks like we're gonna break open that keep out. Roavsa? What? Where's the mixture that I have no idea what Roavsa is. That sounds really interesting. What does it taste like? Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. Yes, of course. Sawa took the bug tracker from his pocket and handed it back to Kajiwara. He won't be needing this anymore. As soon as they had left the kitchen, Tanaka leaned in close and whispered to him. Got an email from Hitomi. He showed his cell phone to Osawa. Looks like my sister's being held captive in a blue minivan somewhere in Shibuya. But that man is still chasing me, so I can't really go looking for it. Rose and coriander. Semi-roll. That sounds so nice. I love rose flavored things too. Sprite mixed. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, I've never. Rose flavor with Sprite sounds so good. That sounds phenomenal. Okay, listen, like, you can never go wrong with basically anything mixed with grenadine. And so, of course, I got myself a bottle of grenadine because also it's one of the syrups that you just mix with water and it's delicious. And it's super good if you mix it with Sprite. Oh my goodness, it's super good for Sprite. But rose flavor? Oh my gosh, now I want to get like a rosy thing. I want this now. You've inspired me. I will be, next time I buy some kind of syrup, I'll be looking for some kind of rose flavored something. Blue minivan. Allow me to handle this, sir. I'll figure something out. Osawa knew he trusted Tanaka for a reason. Thank you, said with a bow. Oh, you wouldn't happen to know any place she might have gone, do you, sir? What? It's just that all she's told me that she's been moving around. Sorry, I don't really have any idea, Osawa replied. He was ashamed to say it. There wasn't a single place he knew of where his daughter might be inclined to go. I see. Tanaka, picking up on his discomfort, was visibly embarrassed himself. He hastened to change the subject. By the way, how did your talk with Mr. Makino go? I confirmed he was behind the human testing, but I don't know who sent me the emails. Tanaka paused for a moment in thought, looking like he might have a hunch. All right then, he said. We'll have to talk in more detail later. With that, the assistant director headed for the front door. This guy's really in his 40s, though? Like, this guy is like 40 something? He doesn't look like it. He could be, but I mean, not in this photo. Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara spoke from the kitchen door. Peeping in on me again, huh? Osawa grumbled. Thankfully, it didn't appear the detective had overheard his conversation with Tanaka. Good grief, that thing is noisy. If it's broken, why don't you just throw it out? Sounds from the bug tracker grew fainter and fainter. Something wasn't right, Osawa now realized. Mr. Osawa, this is my bug tracker. So, Osawa huffed. What I mean is, sir, this one isn't broken. What? A chill ran up Osawa's spine. He swallowed audibly. I pinpointed the source of the signal, Kajiwara said. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka. No, Osawa thought. I must have misheard that. Hold on. Say that again? Located the source of the signal. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka, the detective repeated. The poor driver, right? It's true, the stereotype. It, like, age perfectly until 60, then just bam. This time, Osawa heard him crystal clear. I'm certain of it. Mr. Tanaka has a listening device on him. Osawa felt the blood draining from his face. If someone had been listening in on the conversation just now, then they'd heard about the email from Hitomi. If the kidnappers were the ones listening, that meant Maria's life was now in danger. I'll go after him, sir. Kajiwara broke into a sprint. Osawa followed close behind. To be continued! Okay. We have the Achi jump, but we can continue. Alright, Mr. Tanaka's in on something, but we don't know what. Maybe it's just a cat. Oh my god, there's a second jump! We're just gonna jumpy. Let's go. It's time I skin this cat. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. Take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh, my Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. It feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe... Rah! Comes off. I did it. I slip out the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. No, that was the key. No, no. Then what was the point of the jump? What is the point of the jump if it doesn't get me out of anything? Like, am I crazy? Did it just... 1340, it goes to 1340. It looks like it's gonna take away this thing, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. It just... Okay. Rude. We'll just continue, I guess. Imagine the scene from The Matrix pops up out of the pod. Yes. It could be. It could be. We do not know what Tama looks like. The doorknob rattled ominously. You really think that's Tanaka? Achi asked. I'm not sure. If it were him, I think he'd probably say something. Achi grabbed Hitomi's hand. We better hide. The two of them slipped behind a large piece of plywood stage dressing. The door swung open with a loud creak. What? What? In stepped a cat. What? Oh, it's just a kitty cat. A giant kitty cat walking upright. Achi and Hitomi stared in confusion as someone in a cat costume slipped into the room. There was something vaguely sinister about the fuzzy figure. The cat had both hands stuffed into its pockets and shuffled as it walked, dragging one leg. You think that's someone with a theater troupe? Achi whispered. Maybe. The two huddled in the shadows, pressed almost cheek to cheek. They watched as the cat rifled around inside one of its pockets and pulled something out. It was a bundle of keys, no doubt the ones it used to get inside. Achi fixated on the furry mitt that held them. Cat! Chasing something you find a suit later that was just a husk for something worse. It's just waltzing around in plain sight until it was ready. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's super horrifying. I love it. It was stained dark red. That could be only one thing. Blood. Actually, it could be Burning Hammer. In that moment, Achi finally realized what was going on. That's no theater guy. It was the assassin. He'd used the cat suit to slip past the theater people and somehow gotten his hands on the storeroom keys. Now he tossed the keys away, then delicately adjusted the costume's wobbly head. Tell me we gotta run. Tommy seemed frozen, mesmerized. What? The cat turned directly towards them. The fur around its mouth was stained crimson. Tommy let out a high-pitched cry of shock. The cat drew its other hand out of its pocket. What? Clutched in his mitt was a gun. Achi and Hitomi had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Okay. What's up with the cat? As it happens, it's Tama's fault. She tossed the suit away, allowing the assassin to find it and using it to deceive the theater troupe to gain access to the storeroom. Okay. We gotta go back. We can't take off the cat costume. Can't do it. Cannot do it. That's why there's the keep out. It's not worth the struggle. Guess this cat's staying in the bag. Oh my gosh. Okay, of all the bad ends, I did not expect someone to steal Tama and turn into a murder. A popular folk etymology asserts that the expression, let the cat out of the bag, comes from the unscrupulous practices of certain farmers who would sell a pig at a market only to deceive the buyer by surreptitiously swapping out the purchased porker for a cat. The likelihood of anyone mistaking a cat, even when inside a bag, for a pig, however, is extremely low, let alone the likelihood that enough people would fall for such a scheme to warrant a phrase referring to it entering the language. Figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. Still stuck on the keep out, though. Now does the jump work? It might work now, weirdly. That's the thing about these jumps is sometimes you gotta try them multiple times. Good old days, good old days. Time for tea. Tea time. Pomegranate and something else, but mostly pomegranate. Yes, this tea has definitely gotten a little colder, but it's still warm. Well, miracle. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Achi, you would rip your heart out of your chest to give it to your sister. I get it. But she would hate that. Oh boy, she would hate that. Could you imagine living with the guilt of something like that forever? I really wish there was a way to skip further down this, though. Like, this is the part that's like, come on, why did they only give a couple of places where you can resume the conversation? Like, resume it from, let me, like, skip to literally the last sentence I was reading. Please. Maybe it's just a cat. Let's try. Okay, this time it looked like maybe it did unlock it. It did. Okay, all right, all right. So it was allowed to unlock it, but only if you click the right option. Now it actually makes sense. Wouldn't like a close relative giving me an organ in an either them or me? Absolutely no. No, absolutely not, right? Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just not, it just doesn't feel right, right? Like at all. You know, like, yeah, we all roll the dice. But that's kind of the thing, is we all roll the dice, and it's kind of unfair if someone else's dice roll, they're just like, I don't want this dice roll, you have it. You're like, I didn't. No, I don't want to live with guilt forever. Sales demo is over, and against all odds, I managed to get paid. Money clutched in one paw, I head to the knick-knack shop to finally buy that necklace I can't stop thinking about. Hello, anyone here? I call out. There's no reply. Is the shopkeeper out? Just a moment. Panting, the sales clerk comes scurrying into the shop behind me. Sorry about that, just had to pop out for a sec. Woo, you would not believe what I just saw. He leans against a pillar, gasping audibly as he tries to catch his breath. Now you hear about the necklace. You still have it? Of course. Thank you so much. I have half the money here and the rest is in my own. Suddenly remember something very important. Oh no. Sales clerk gives me a curious look. What's the matter? My wallet. It's still in here. I pat the costume around the tummy. Why don't you just take the outfit off? Well, I mean, the zipper's kind of broken. Wouldn't be having all this trouble if I could just get out of this darn costume. Kinda broken. It's way more broken than that. The sales clerk points me to a full-body mirror. He's right, the zipper in the back is hanging open. Taking this thing off will be a cinch now. Oh, thank you. I give him a bow. Not sure you need to be thanking me. No, I do. If you hadn't pointed that out, I might have let myself stay stuck in here forever. So really, thank you so much. I bow again and again. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. I called it. I absolutely called it. 100%. It's Maria. Da, da, da. But the fact that they're revealing that, oh, Maria changed her name too. It literally just changed her name. Dude. Oh my gosh. So many. Okay. That Maria, it's Maria. Tama is Maria. It happened. So, like, all right. We got the to be continued here. We got the to be continued. Now we're going to find out. Yep, it makes perfect sense, except how did she escape? How did she get to be escaped? And there's so many questions now. Okay. We still have to deal with the bad end here. It's basically just these two at this point, though, so I think we can figure it out. Well, she changed her name because, like, she didn't remember her name and she looked at Egg and was just like, yes, I am Egg Ita. Like... Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate. You really think that's Tanaka? Achi asked. I'm not sure. If it were him, I think he'd probably say something. Achi grabs Hitomi's hand. We better hide. The two of them slip behind a large piece of plywood stage dressing. The door swung open with a loud creak. In stepped the man with the cane. What the heck? Achi whispered. What's he doing here? Guns drawn, the assassin prowled slowly around the storeroom. Achi and Hitomi crouched behind the plywood prop, trying not to make a sound. The man moved out of their line of sight. Achi gazed longingly at the door. Achi risked a peek around the corner of the plywood. He still couldn't see the man with the cane. The door was maybe 5 meters away. What should they do? They need to make a run for it. They need to make a... wait for a safer chance to escape. Achi heard the sound of a cell phone vibrating behind a tall piece of plywood leaning by the door. The assassin stepped out from behind it. He still hadn't spotted his quarry. I'm sure this is the place. His voice was low and confident. Oh, did he have friends? Still clutching his phone, the assassin wandered deeper into the storeroom. Achi and Tomi took the opportunity to slip out the door. They ran through the alleyways back towards the main road. Before they reached it, however, they suddenly found their path cut off by one of the foreigners who chased them earlier, the accomplice of the man with the pipe. He stood waiting for them, holding a knife in one hand. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. If they turned back, Achi knew the man with the cane might catch up with them, and he had a gun. Achi slipped off his sleeveless jacket wrapped around his left arm. He was gonna have to use his left arm to guard against the knife while punching with his right hand. He clenched his fist and braced himself. Then suddenly he froze. Huh? A small dark silhouette dropped in from somewhere above. Landing deftly, the newcomer lunged towards the man with the knife, closing the gap between them in the blink of an eye. Ugh. The figure delivered a swift chop to the back of a man's neck. Susan? Dropped to the pavement like a dead man, finally giving Achi a clear view of the shadow behind him. Achi couldn't believe his eyes. It was a small-statured young woman with a Middle Eastern feature. What? I'm even more confused now. Tell me you let out a little gasp. Kanan? Or Kanan? I think it's Kanan. I think it's Kanan. Okay. Right. Why do we still have the bad end with Kano, though? Show me my clue. Admirably. Someone can do something at 1340. 1340. Morikawa. No, nothing came to mind. Let's see. Thank you for your time. If you'll excuse me, I have to get another interview. Oh, of course. Allow me to walk you out. Yoshida rose to his feet as Minorikawa got up to leave. Oh, that won't be necessary. It's no trouble. I'm heading out there myself. Gotta run before these guys show up. Huh? What guys? Oh, nobody. Just a personal thing is all. Parted ways outside the building, and Minorikawa headed off to the cafe to put his article together. Perfect timing. Okay. Oh, alright, I guess Yanagashita does something? That is an unexpected connection. Stanley slams on the brakes. Oh! A frantic-looking man had jumped out in front of the car. Whoa, hey, what the hell are you doing? Kano sputtered. The stranger plastered his face against the passenger side window. Open up, he shouted. Open the door! The guy showed every sign of a total panic. Junichi Yanagashita, something happened just after he parted ways with Minorikawa. Now he's running in this way and that way in quite a panic. Okay. We didn't really need to unblock anything, though, here. I guess it's fine, probably. I mean, this is the last one who got to get to the to be continued, so I guess it should be fine. Theme of debt. Oh, very much so, yes. Debt and crazy science. Don't do it, Stanley warned. Kind of hesitated. It wasn't like they could just drive off with this fellow clinging to the car. Oh my god! The man slipped his fingers through the gap in the window, trying to force it further open. Help me. Whoa, hold on. What's your deal? Help me. Sir just told me what? Help me. Look, up ahead, Stanley exclaimed suddenly. Kano whipped his head around. There, walking along the sidewalk ahead, was Al Karawan, very much not in custody. What the hell? Kano tried to jump out of the car, but the frantic stranger had gotten his upper body wedged in the window and the door wouldn't open. Stanley, his usual steely expression rose placed with a look of shock, exited on the driver's side and went after Al Karawan himself. Kano shouted at the man in the window. Alright, get in. If the guy was that desperate to get inside, Kano wasn't about to stop him. Besides, he needed to get the guy to calm down and let go of his arm. Ow, the man yelled, let go, let go! He was the one holding on. Why does he demand to be let go? Debt isn't money in society to our parents. Oh no, definitely not a very common theme in Japan and so many places. But yes, so much debt. So much debt. The collective debt of society. The hell is going on? Just as Kano's thought was forming, the crazed stranger was yanked back out of the car, dragging Kano with him. A pair of rough-looking men had grabbed him by his lower body. No, no, he screamed. I can't do 80 days hard labor. Somehow he was still managing to cling onto the car door. Just give it up and let go already, snarled one of the assailants. The pair shifted their grip and pulled even harder. Like 80 days of hard labor? That's not that bad for like a ton of debt. Just saying, dude. Like, it's kind of like a real job, you know? 80 days. You did some dumb stuff. It seems pretty reasonable that they'll make you work it off. Kind of heard the sound of tearing fabric as the two toughs tumbled backwards. And just like that, the crazed stranger was stripped down to his boxers. He let out a pathetic wail. Oh man! The two toughs burst into uproarious laughter at the sight. Yeah, that's also a photo. Yanagashita. My goodness. Now's our chance, one of them managed to say. The pantsless man snatched up his ruined garment and bolted like a startled hare. There really is something special in these photos, especially. They dart off incredibly quickly. In the manner of a fleeing rabbit, Yanagashita runs a lot more like a rat than a rabbit, though. Still cackling madly, his two pursuers rushed after him. Kano was still staring dumbstruck at the spectacle when Stanley returned to the car. No luck. Lost track of him. It doesn't make sense, Kano said, forcing himself to refocus on the case. Al-Karawan was taken back to the precinct. What's he doing walking free? Stanley gave him a dubious look. Have you seriously not figured it out? He asked. Or is this some kind of strange Japanese joke I'm not getting? What are you talking about? Kano replied. Do you know something I don't? Evidently, I do. Your detective Tateno let him go on purpose. It's the only explanation. Enraged at the suggestion, Kano took a swing at him, but Stanley coolly caught his fist. It's not me you should be punching, the American warned. It's Tateno. Abashed, Kano radioed up Kuze on the wireless. Sir, did Detective Kano bring Tariq Al-Karwan to the precinct? It would appear that, Detective Tateno has gone rogue, Kuze replied with chagrin. He what? Surely Kano had misheard. We received an eyewitness account. Someone saw him allowing the suspect to go free. No, it can't be. We currently do not know Detective Tateno's whereabouts, or just what the hell is going on with him. After Kano ended the call, Stanley let out a low chuckle. I see. Looks like you had a traitor in your midst. Kano grabbed him by the collar. Stanley snorted. What are you trying to pull here? Tell me what you know, Kano slapped. All I did was state the facts. Look, I watched that man risk his life to talk down a would-be arsonist. He's a dyed-in-the-wool detective. He'd never betray anybody. I see, Stanley murmured. Then he's the real deal. Kano stared in surprise. He'd expected an argument. Good, he said. I'm glad we're on the same page. Tateno risked his life in order to get people to trust him. He's a dyed-in-the-wool spy, is what he is. Ooh. Kano didn't have the words. He clenched his clenched fist, trembling once more. He fumbled for his cell phone again. He dialed Tateno's number. The phone rang 5 times and failed to connect. There has to be a reason for this, Kano muttered. Tateno must know something we don't. Really now, Stanley scuffed. And what makes you so sure of that? Because Detective Tateno was sure this kidnapping wasn't about the ransom. Kano's mind drifted back to 9 o'clock that morning. Ahead of their stakeout at the Scramble, he was walking with Tateno through the halls of the Shibuya precinct. We're gonna do a bang-up job out there, Detective Tateno, he chirped. He was maybe a bit too excited about getting to take part in such a major case. Tateno patted Kano on the back. You need to take a step back. You're not letting yourself see the forest for the trees. What do you mean, sir? What I mean is, this is no ordinary kidnapping. Tateno's words triggered a little revelation. You're talking about the location for the ransom handoff, aren't you? Kano said. It doesn't make sense for the criminals to pick such a major intersection. Warmer, Tateno replied. Kano frowned inwardly. He'd been so sure that was the answer. Have you thought about why they asked to have the sister make the handoff? Kano thought about some more before answering. His women are easier to deal with, he suggested. Colder. If that was the case, why not pick the mother? No. What worries me is the fact that the Osawa girls are twins. They're having us send someone to the handoff who looks identical to the girl they kidnapped. What's going to happen when we do that? What is going to happen, sir? Kano asked. I'm not sure yet, but I have a feeling the kidnapper's plan hinges on it. The two exited through the precinct's main entrance. Up ahead, rows of buildings stood tall against the backdrop of a bright blue sky. Tateno let out a quiet sigh. To think that so many terrible things are happening out there on such a beautiful day. Solve one case and another is waiting, he went on, as always. What is it about people that drives them to do such horrible things? A girl abducted out of pure greed. When I think of how her parents must feel, I almost can't bear it. They made their way toward the Scramble. Tateno continued talking in a quiet voice. My father was a raging alcoholic. The house was always a complete mess. He was loud, violent, never had any money, always reeked of booze. My mother, she would cry and cry. I was afraid to come home. Every day I stayed out playing as late as I could possibly manage. Kano could hear the pain in Tateno's voice. That life took too much of a toll on my mother. She died when I was still in grade school. My father, he just got worse. I was there with him at the end, after he'd wasted away to almost nothing. Not the sort of childhood I'd wish on anyone. Sounds like you really went through a lot. Kano hated himself for uttering such an empty platitude, but he had no idea what else to say. Kano, as old as I am, I still don't really know what it is to be happy. I think that's probably because I've never known what it's like to have a happy family. Kano sounds so forlorn. The only happiness I know is how to protect. The only happiness I know how to protect is other people's happiness. Kano heard in those words the sound of a true detective. Just hope you're ready. Kano did his best to keep his voice as calm and level as he could, lifting up his clenched fist. Because if I find proof that Tateno is innocent, I'm planting this right into your jaw. Stanley just cracked a wry smile. The traffic had finally diminished, and they rapidly drew close to their destination. The syndicate's hangout was in Tomigaya, to the southwest of Yoyogi Park. The ratty building looked like it might come down crashing. Oh, we know this part. It's gonna be different now, because they won't get stabbed to death this time. And I'll take point, you back me up. Pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. Yes, FBI or CIA. Stanley kicked the door, and the stench of blood hit them as soon as they stepped inside. Kind of let out a startled gasp. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled across the floor. He recognized them all. They were men who'd participated in the repeated attaché case handoff. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Stanley took a closer look. The blood's not fully dried. These guys weren't killed that long ago. Kano quickly scanned the bar high and low, but there was no sign of a killer in hiding. There was no trace of Maria either. One of the fallen men let out a faint, strained groan. Hey, stay with us. He hunched down beside the wounded man. A brief gurgle rose from the man's throat. He was clearly struggling to say something, but his voice was too garbled, too indistinct for Kano to make out any coherent words. Kanan. What was that? But there was no more. The dying man went limp and still. Interesting. Okay, that's the girl from before. Well, well, well. Did we just get everyone to the to be continued? I think we did. Yes! We've made it to 2 p.m., everyone. Wee wee wee. It is time. Maria. You can see her taking off. I mean, yes, they know. They know that this is who I need to play now. Because I'm the most curious about her. They really, I don't know if they're actually twins or if they just found two girls that look really similar. I feel like they found two girls that look really similar. Just gave them the same haircut and everything to make it more so. The sales clerk continues to stare at me. You know, you look really familiar, he said. Huh? Really? Perk up at that. Maybe I can find out something about who I am. Yeah, you look totally like some pop singer or a TV personality. Just can't remember who. Oh, that's what you meant. Shoulders slump in disappointment. Look, if you're trying to flatter me, how about a discount on the necklace? Sure, okay. I mean, it's just something I picked up on the side of the road. Ho, ho, ho. The sales clerk stammers for a moment. Okay, how about I take off 10,000, 30,000, and it's yours. You mean it? That perks me right back up. Guess I'm easy to please. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what she means. You know it. Sure, you look like you might need to buy some new clothes too. Points to my sweater. Oh, it's ripped. There's a tiny tear on the left shoulder. So what do you want to do about the cat? The sales clerk adds. Want me to dispose of it for you? He gestures at my costume with its jaw. Oh, right. What should I do? I feel a little guilty about going out of his way more than he already has. Maybe I should deal with it myself. Deal with myself. He looks a bit disappointed when I said, yeah, he was going to sell it. I buy the necklace for 30,000 yen and leave the knick-knack shop, hauling the costume with me. As I walk along, I start regretting my decision. I can't find a good place to throw the cat outfit away. Finally, I spot a convenience store that looks like it'll do just fine. One of the employees is out front, cleaning out the trash can. Several large garbage bags line the side of the road. Perfect. Maybe I can have him toss out the costume with everything else. Excuse me, so I've got this old cat suit here. I figured it can't hurt to ask. Yeah, I know. The shop buy takes the costume from me. Teku Okado. 22-year-old getting by on part-time employment. Recently, after a number of employees quit in rapid succession, the owner hurriedly took on several new hires. For some reason, instead of everyone chipping into the cleaning, Okado always winds up stuck doing it. You're here to throw this thing out. I got it. He sounds wholly unsurprised. He accepts it so blithely that I actually feel bad. It's been like this all morning. Don't even care anymore. Just throw away what you need and be on your way, I guess. It's been like what all morning? Back here cleaning and people keep dumping trash on me. First it was this couple that up and threw a garbage bag at me. Achi Endo and Hitomi Osawa. The two have just run into a girl called... After that, some homeless-looking guy came by, took off all his clothes and left. That was Detective Sasayama. At that moment, he's searching for a costume for his next disguise. And just like now, some chubby girl tossed out some empty cardboard boxes and a bunch of empty bottles. That must have been Chidi. She was probably drinking the burning hammer while she walked along. So when he came by with his stuff now, I knew right away. Yep, this again. I'm sorry. It's alright. 3 times, 4 times, what's the difference? He flashes a bright smile, but it's clearly insincere. He looks at me more closely. Huh. Aren't you the girlfriend of that dude who threw the bag of the garbage at me? What? Nope, not me. Guess I'm misremembering then. Anyway, thanks for your help with this. Give the guy a bow. A few moments later, near the station, I spot a sort of mall. Checking the directory by the entrance, I see that it's got several clothing shops and an arcade inside. They probably sell shirts in here. I hurry on inside. The interior of the building is like a twisting maze of corridors, all of them overflowing with people. I take the escalator to the 2nd floor and find myself amidst rows of arcade games. I was trying to get to the fashion area, but I must have gone the wrong way. Excuse me. You haven't seen a lost little girl, have you? I turn to see a miserable-looking middle-aged man peering at me anxiously. Zero Toyama. He got separated from his daughter Hana while running from debt collectors. He's on edge, worried that the men who are after him might take Hana hostage. Have you seen her? Little girl, about 10 years old. Girl around 10. Have I seen her? What's her name? Hana. Hana Toyama. Hana? Oh, that's a pretty name. So yeah, she's about yay tall. The man launches into a rapid-fire explanation describing the girl's features, hair, and clothes. Separated from her around Center Guy. She likes this place, so I thought maybe she'd come here. Center Guy? That's right, now I remember. It's the guy I bumped into earlier the afternoon while I was racing around in the cat costume. Got separated from his daughter. Yikes. If she did come here, it's not going to be easy to find her in the midst of these crowds. Are you sure she didn't go back home, I ask? Well, there's this problem, he mutters. Going home isn't an option. That's not really an explanation. Sorry to bother you. I'll look around a bit more. That Hana's father disappears into the crowd. Leave the arcade and head for the fashion area. I bump into Mr. Yanagashita in a hallway lined with photo booths. Huh, boss? What's he doing in a place like this? Oh, Tommy, you're out of the suit. For some reason, he's got a bunch of magazines strewn across the floor. I finally managed to get it off. That's good. You could have been at the sales demo with your face hidden anyway. What are you doing? You mentioned something about a creek earlier. You going on a trip? Yeah, I was, but then I remembered something important. Got motion sickness, something fierce. Sounded kind of proud of himself. Oh yeah, no trips for me. Heck, I don't even want to think about that now. What about the money you owe? I asked, curious. Well, as it happens, I think I may have found my solution. He brings a hand to his mouth and giggles. Oh no. Right here. Found a great way to make a killing. Earn a lot of money, usually in a very short time and with little effort. The phrase originated in the 19th century and referred to hunters who were paid based on the number of kills they made. With the magazine, he's holding to reveal a scratch card with potential 100,000 yen prize. Gotta scratch off one of these to win 100,000 yen. All I need is 30. 30 of them and my debt's squared away. Each magazine I can nab is more money for me. Despite his enthusiasm, the story doesn't quite add up. Are the scratch cards guaranteed to win? Oh, of course not. It's a lottery sort of thing. Well, then having 30 copies of the magazine is hardly a foolproof solution. Quite the opposite, in fact, but I hold my son. Okay then, now that my goddess of fortune Tom is here, let me hurry and scratch these suckers off. Yanagashita begins fervently scratching away at the first card with a coin. Oh, that one's a loser. Maybe the next one. Nope, that's a loser too. Damn it. So's this one, and this one. In a spectacular display, he scratches off one of losing card after another. Soon he's down to just one last magazine. You're not a very lucky person, are you? Oh, please don't say that. Mr. Yanagashita looks like he's on the verge of tears. Stare at one of the losing scratch cards. You know, if you could just see the symbols through the card, you'd win for sure, I say jokingly. I hold the card up to the light. When I do, I really can see the symbols through the card. Boss, I think I might have just... Shh, he interrupts me before I can share my shocking discovery. I look at him in surprise. Mr. Yanagashita has gone all pale. Quiet, Tama. These guys are here. He shoves me to a photo booth. Those guys? Debt collectors, he hisses. They do just not give up. Clutches his head. Peeking out of the booth, I spot a pair of men who look pretty rough around the edges. Those two? Shh, not so loud. Men are looking around and they're getting closer and closer. What do I do? Oh, what do I do? Mr. Yanagashita starts getting panicky. Tama, what do I do? I have no idea. You make the scratch off material coating with acrylic paint and dish soap. Oh, good for cards and stuff. Oh, that's fine. You can like make like a surprise thing in a card for someone. That's lovely. Try that sometime. Oh, this is not good. This is not good, Mr. Yanagashita whimpers. Getting involved in these thugs is a bad idea. I pretend not to know Yanagashita. This guy gave me a job, so I kind of owe him a look around for a better place for the two of us to hide. That's not really true. Unfortunately, I don't really see anywhere that might work. We might be safe as staying where we are right now. Just stay nice and still and we'll be fine, I whisper. Yeah, you're probably right. Curtains drawn so people can't see inside. Just to keep appearances, we start taking photos as though we're normal customers. I really hope they don't look in here, Mr. Yanagashita murmurs. What'll we do if they find us? They won't. Just don't worry. Despite my reassurances, it was a while before he stopped trembling. He said, you know, Tama, they say that when a man and woman meet under unusual circumstances, it's easy for them to fall up. Uh-huh, do they now? They do. Going through an extreme situation makes you fall for each other. So wanna get married? No way. Yeah, I am not having this conversation. Anyway, I think they're gone now. The debt collectors, I mean. So again, I guess she peeks out and quickly scans the surrounding area. They're gone? They're gone! Haha! So long, losers! The sphere has given way to a burst of manic energy. I'm in the clear now. Thanks, Tama. Come on, let's take some commemorative photos. Huh? To commemorate what, exactly? Come on, it'll be fun. Okay, big smile now. Ready? Cheese. Butter. Margarine. Afro life. He has Afro. After that, I part ways with Mr. Yanagashita and head to a different floor. I don't tell him about being able to see through the stretch cards. The guy really ought to develop a proper work ethic. Hey, come on, wait up. I'm on the escalator to the third floor when I hear someone shouting. I figured someone yelling to their kid, but I turn to look. I see a young man I don't recognize staring right at me. Where are you going? It's not safe for us to get too separated. What? Who's this weirdo? Is this some new pickup trick or something? I rush up the escalator to get away from the guy. When I get to the restaurant section on the 4th floor, I'm hit with a sudden pang of hunger. Come to think of it, I hadn't eaten a thing all day. I am so hungry, I murder to myself as I walk around. What should I eat? And I spot Chiri coming out of a Chinese restaurant. Gee. She turns to look at me confused. Who are you? Oh, it's me, it's Tama. Hi, I thought I recognized the voice, she replies with a nod. Did you eat again? I ask. Well, yeah, but then they kicked me out. Isn't that just terrible? She looks pretty displeased. I came here because it was all you can eat, but then they closed shop because they ran out of food. Oh, wow, you're right. I spot one of the restaurant staff hanging a closed sign on the front door. Man, now my early afternoon snack is ruined. An afternoon snack? And an all-you-can-eat buffet? Can't help but stare at Chiri's midsection, amazed by what that stomach is capable of. This girl is honestly a biological mystery. Like, imagine. By the way, have you seen the boss? Yes. I thought he'd finally accepted that he needs to buckle down and work, but he's got some crazy new scheme. Guess that guy's just never gonna learn. Figure nothing's good gonna come from associating with him. I'd be careful if I were you two. Done with her little rant, Chiri says goodbye and heads off among the restaurants. Tomi? Who said that? Were they talking to me? I turn to see a businessman of some sort staring in my direction. Like everyone I've run into today, I don't recognize him. For some reason, though, I feel relaxed in his presence. Is that you, Tomi? Tomi? Could that be my name? Or are you Maria? No, As I fumble for words, the man peers at me with obvious concern. What are you doing in a place like this? We need to get you back home. Your parents are worried sick. Parents? Did someone file a missing person report while I've been wandering around with amnesia? The man leads the way and I follow. Kobayashi's retiring? Oh my gosh. That'd be so sad to not feel hunger anymore, honestly. I mean, I don't feel hunger all that much, and it's not a great... Hunger is a fun feeling, honestly. Head down to a narrow alleyway. The man suddenly stops. Is that why he, like, decided to retire? Or just, like, he just kind of reached his limit? It just, like, you know, it's kind of an intense lifestyle. I feel a jolt of anxiety as I notice something gleaming in his hand. Doesn't matter which the two you are. You're both in the way. Oh. He mutters, almost as if talking to himself. Right after that, everything goes dark. Rising health. Yep, makes sense. It is an intense lifestyle. Okay, alright. Let's take a look at the hint here. After meeting a man who seemed to know her on the restaurant level, our heroine hoped to find out more about her past. Instead, she ultimately wound up getting attacked in an alleyway. Ultimately, this came to pass because she was avoiding that young man who mistook her for Hitomi. If he hadn't come shouting after her, she would have gone on to buy some clothes as she'd originally intended. It's probably Achi. Damaged to the digestive system. Ooh, and food taste. Yeah. I wonder if, like, so much food doesn't taste the same, right? Numbing yourself. Right. Yeah, I guess you would. You just slowly over time have to numb yourself to, like, the sensations of eating. Like, it would just become a thing you don't think about, don't feel about. And that's, like, the worst. Oh, don't even worry about it. Like, listen, as long as I can even remotely read what you're writing, I do not care. Like, food and eating is one of the most basic and fundamental joys in life. Yeah, actually, like, anything that could kind of ruin that is probably a bad thing. Yeah, of course. You must be Hitomi. The girl called Kanan spoke a fairly fluent Japanese. Hitomi nodded in response. Yes, it's me. And you're Kanan, right? How'd you know my name? Did Maria tell you? Yes, she told me not to. She told me about this amazing girl from overseas she made friends with. A thin smile crossed Kanan's lips at the word amazing. Then her look grew sad. Poor Maria. It's my fault she was abducted. What? Achi and Hitomi gasped in unison. That's why I have to rescue her, Kanan added. Hold on a second, Hitomi said. What do you mean it's your fault? Kanan replied by jerking her chin in the direction of the main road. Better head that way. Someone's coming. Hitomi didn't back down. Please tell me, why was my sister kidnapped? Several sets of footsteps echoed down the alley. They could see figures approaching now. By the looks of them, accomplices of the man Kanan had taken down earlier. You two get out of here, she warned. I'll handle this. She stepped out in front of Achi and Tomi, moving with such confidence that they didn't doubt she could handle the threat. Come to the Gigo building at 3 o'clock, she added quietly, never taking her eyes off the advancing syndicate members. Huh? Tomi squeaked. I'll explain everything then. The criminals broke into a run. Come on, Hitomi, let's go, Achi hissed. He took her by the hand and bolted from the alleyway. The two didn't slow their pace until they put plenty of distance between themselves and the alleyway. Kanan said this was her fault. What could she have meant by that? The hard run hadn't made Hitomi forget the other girl's startling suggestion. Well, she said she'd meet up with us again later, as she said. We can ask her more about it then. In the meantime, an ache in his belly had made Achi realize he had been running all day and hadn't eaten since the morning. People on a diet need to be careful about skipping meals. Going too long without proper nourishment can cause the body to store up its energy reserves, leading to weight gain instead of loss. Proper eating habits and proper exercise are key. That's... I mean, not entirely true. For the most part, it's still calories in, calories out, but also, like, intermittent fasting is a thing. But yeah, starving yourself, not great, but, like, the body doesn't also, like, it's not true that if you, like, skip a meal, like, you're just gonna gain exclusively weight either. It's not really how it works. But yeah, good habits, good long-term sustainable habits is the only way to... Not even just about losing weight, gaining weight, changing your body requires changing the habits that you have. Exactly, yeah. It's a little more hardy and a little less, like, you can't really deny the laws of thermodynamics. Like, yeah, if you skip meals, then you'll gain weight. It's like, that can't, that's not how where would the calories come from? Like, but yes. Very much so. It's a complex process, but you can boil it down to some simple things of change a habit into something good and sustainable and healthy. Maybe it's not the best timing, but do you want to get some food? I'll be okay. Tommy's face was racked with emotion. It's only natural, Achi thought. Not only was she afraid for her sister's life, but there were all these people out to kill her, too. With this Kanan girl suddenly showing up, the situation was more confusing than ever. Still, they might as well address the few problems they could control. There was a fast food joint nearby. Let's go in there, Achi said. You might not be hungry, but you should still make sure to stay hydrated. Tomi shook her head, but her wan face practically radiated exhaustion. Come on, we should rest up a little. But there's no rush. If we're going to meet up with Kanan later, it's probably best if we don't wander aimlessly until then. Never know who we might run into. Yes, you're right. The two went into the fast food restaurant together. Sweden. Ah, yes, the well-known fast food restaurant. Sweden. Welcome, the girl at the register was said with a bright smile. Ooh, hail hydrate, indeed, yes. Everyone should be hydrating frequently. It's important to stay hydrated all the time. I am very, very bad at hydrating. The only time I've seen it be medically possible to eat all day and just maintain is a cancer patient, yet where most of his digestive system was affected and his intestines pretty much removed. He ate all the time because he processed food partially and much faster than normal. Yes. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Basically, yeah, it can go the other way around where you can eat a lot and not gain weight, but you can't not eat and gain weight. Like, it really can't go the other way around because the calories have to come from somewhere. But the fact is, it's actually very possible, and there are very many unfortunate medical reasons to be eating a lot of food and not gaining a lot of weight. And it's actually usually a sign of major concern, unless, like this guy with cancer, he knows exactly what's wrong and he needs to eat more, because if you have a shorter digestive tract, then there's just literally less time for your digestive tract to get stuff out of food. So you need to eat more and more often to just have more food in that digestive area more often to get more stuff. Yeah, that's really tough. Also, tapeworm. Tapeworm, you can also eat a lot and not gain weight, but it's a tapeworm. So that's there's some certain things that it'll eat that you don't get, all the vitamins and nutrients you're supposed to be getting from food. Not gaining weight is generally actually medically not a great situation to be in. Oh yeah, no, of course. There's not every situation. I don't know every situation where people could be in where these things are possible, but usually if it's honestly, it goes both ways. If you are eating very little and you're gaining weight, or worse, you're eating less than usual and you find yourself gaining weight, you need to go to a doctor, because that could be a lot of things, including a tumor, because that might not be fat specifically that you're gaining. And the other way around, if you're eating the same amount or more and you are losing weight, then you also need to go to the doctor. These are not magical miracles. These are usually medical concerns. Yes, you cannot generally avoid the laws of thermodynamics unless there is something medically wrong. Yeah. If alive, go to doctor. I mean, that's not really true. It's more just if alive and if your meat suit is suddenly functioning very differently than it usually does, you should go to doctor. If it's functioning the same way it's been functioning for the past multiple years, many years, and it's not really out of the normal, you can, if you're concerned about something, but generally speaking, that's probably fine since you're trucking along, right? That's pretty much it. It's something new and surprising. Body surprises are generally bad, actually, just in general. Also, yeah, Parasite. I still remember that one episode of House where the answer was tapeworm, and it was a crazy episode, honestly, because it was the one where the girl couldn't feel pain, so she also couldn't feel the tapeworm inside her, which was massive and crazy. But yeah, House is an interesting show. Definitely has its problems, but it's also just super fascinating. Medical mystery shows are fun. The fox meat parasites. Oh, I don't remember that one. I remember a handful, really, at best. I'll have the spaghetti with meat sauce. How about you, Tomi? Spaghetti with a sauce made from tomatoes and ground meat, also known as spaghetti bolognese, if you want to sound more Italian, or I guess normal. That's like how most people call it, spaghetti bolognese, right? Like Napolitan. Okay. Spaghetti flavored with ketchup. Oh. It is a perennial favorite of Japanese children. Frozen packages at the supermarket for around 200 yen a pop make for a simple and decently tasty microwavable meal that's also easy on the wallet. Why do you microwave the pasta? Just make a pasta. It's not hard. It's not hard to make pasta. It's never lupus except that one single time. Correct. Correct. And it's so often never lupus that I feel like it took so long for them to figure out it was actually lupus. I mean, it's also because, like, the whole joke about lupus is a diagnosis of omission. Basically, like, you can only diagnose something as lupus once you've ruled out a ton of other things. Like, lupus is kind of like the not otherwise defined autoimmune problems for the most part. Now, this is only my very limited knowledge here. I know there's some also specific things that are common with cases of lupus, but I also know that it's pretty sure it's also like it's got a lot of differences between them. I'll just have an iced tea. Hey, now you should probably eat at least a little something. Okay. Yeah, exactly. If it's a wider range, the symptoms aren't really all like there are some overlapping symptoms, but for the most part, like I said, it's like a diagnosis of omission of like, well, it's not these other 100 things, so it's lupus. Okay, I'll have a strawberry parfait, a dessert of strawberries topped with ice cream and whipped cream. Hitomi always has been so worried about her sister that she hasn't eaten anything since last night, but being with Achi has calmed her nerves a little and her appetite has returned. Perhaps her reflective order of a strawberry parfait is a sign that she's not only hungry, but still a little girl with a sweet tooth at heart. Aren't we all a little girl with a sweet tooth at heart? Everybody likes ice cream, man. She sounded a little embarrassed to be ordering dessert. So yeah, said Achi, one spaghetti with meat sauce and a strawberry parfait. Please. Coming right up. Cashier promptly assembled their meal and set it out on a tray. Got a special contest going on right now. Please check it out if you're interested. The girl handed Achi a flyer. It read, Iron Stomach Eating Contest. Eat 1,000 scoops of ice cream and win 10 million yen. Oh, no. Cheery. Cheery, you must. Cheery, you really need, like, your calling is to become a competitive eater. Like, how are you not harnessing this talent? A competitive eating event held by this establishment, backed by Sun TV, the competition has been shared with the entire country over the internet. Many contestants have entered for a shot at the 10 million yen prize, but so far, no one's been able to complete all the eating challenge. Due to a large number of competitors who suffer from gastrointestinal distress as a result of their efforts, roughly 30 portable toilets have been set up outside the restaurant. Oh my god. What the heck? Achi stared at the flyer as he took a seat at an open table. 1,000 scoops? That's impossible. Anyway, let's hurry up and eat. Achi stuffed his face with spaghetti. He thought back to their encounter with Kanan. The girl had helped them out, sure, but could they really trust her completely? It might be dangerous to meet up with her again. Nasty, right? That's a lot. That's listen, lactose is not... Unfortunately, a lot of Asian people are also known for not being particularly lactose tolerant. Like, it's, it's not common to continue just having a lot of milk and lactose products later on in life. So it's a thing that happens. Khan obviously knew something about that. Looked like they'd need to take the risk. Sister really is amazing. I love these photos. Timmy's quiet words drew Achi from his ruminations. He paused with a fork full of spaghetti halfway to his mouth. Lactose is one of those irresistible things. Oh, yes. It's so hard to tolerate the lactose. I'm sure the contest is fun, though. My sister met Kanan while she was on a trip to the Middle East with my father. Tommy nibbled at her parfait, looking lonesome. Cool, but how in that particular makes your sister amazing? It's typical of her is all. She's so dynamic and gung-ho about things. Tommy explained, her gaze turned inward. It was just my father and sister who took that trip to Middle East. I didn't go with them. I guess my mental image of that part of the world is mostly that it's really dangerous. To me, going there seemed like a huge risk, but Maria didn't see it that way. Your sister sounds like a bit of a loose cannon. If you can't bring yourself to take risks to do things, Tommy continued, you can't meet new people and have new experiences. That's the part I always get hung up on, the risk. I'd never be able to make a friend like Kanan. Nachi's mind wandered as he listened to Hitomi talk. She and her sister might be twins, but each of them was still unique. Just what kind of person was Hitomi's sister? He just wanted to sit there and listen to her voice. Still unique. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, he said. He held up a hand to cut her off. Hitomi's eyes went wide. Why are you comparing yourself to your sister? I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a twin, but can't you just be yourself? Professor Palmer said the same thing. She didn't recognize the name. Oh, sorry. Leland Palmer. He's my university English professor. He's given me advice on a whole bunch of things. Sounded rather intimate. All sorts of worrying images shot through Achi's mind. So, how old is this teacher of yours? Around 40 or so, I guess. Great. Achi thought to himself, another middle-aged guy. Oh gosh. No, please. No! His mind filled with another sequence of slightly more upsetting images. Oh hey, isn't that Hitomi Osawa? Oh wow, you're right, it totally is. A college-age couple sitting behind them were talking in hushed, excited tones. And she really, oh my gosh. We have to watch Twin Peaks, right? Oh, Achi, the spaghetti. He made no attempt to hide the fact that he was looking Hitomi over. Hey, hold on, Masa, said the girl. What gives? First-year student at Midoriyama Academy who works part-time as a delivery driver for Dogen Hut, a noodles shop on Dogenzaka. He's taken the day off work today in order to attempt a dry run of the Iron Stomach eating competition, hoping to strike it rich while his girlfriend looks on. Now that he's eaten 2 parfaits, his stomach isn't feeling well. He's just got back in from his 5th trip to the toilet. I mean, she is Miss Midoriyama, right? Miss Midoriyama? She turned to the couple. I don't think it's that important. What does that even matter? Ashi decided to ignore the couple, but no. He was just too curious. Ashi turned back to Hitomi. Is that true? Yes, peering intently at her face. Well, yeah. She nodded with an awkward smile. I mean, you really are cute and all. Miss Midoriyama. Well, I'll be. He nodded to himself as he took it all in. It was Professor Palmer who convinced me to enter that beauty contest, actually. Miss Midoriyama contest at Midoriyama Academy is considered one of the top student beauty pageants in Japan. Pin-up shots of both Hitomi and Maria have already graced the pages of several magazines. Talent agencies have also made attempts to scout them, but both girls declined, claiming that they entered the contest just for the memories and they have no interest in show business. Well, alright then. I mean, that's a choice they get to make. As she smiled, twisted up a little. Said if I really wanted to change myself, I should try entering. Achi maintained his outward composure, but inside his heart was racing. Naka and Palmer, which one of them held Hitomi's true affections? Or was she possibly leading on 2 middle-aged men at the— Oh, Achi, please. The more he thought about it, the worse his delusions became. What actually happened, though, is my sister and I both won the prize. Hitomi's words snapped him out of his funk. She sounded disappointed. They gave out a double prize? Turns out my sister had entered the competition, too. She smiled a self-depreciating smile. Guess twins really do think alike, huh? Hey, double schmubble, you still want a prize, right? That's pretty impressive. Nah, they just picked me as an afterthought to my sister because twins sharing the prize made for a good headline. She looked away sadly. Did they say they picked you as an afterthought? Right? I have to definitely— I mean, I definitely need to watch the Dune movies, though. I haven't read it. I haven't, but like, I wanna know. They didn't have to. It was obvious my sister really won. You can't know that. Maybe she was the afterthought. Come on, you need to believe in yourself. Tommy just hung her head, but I'm such a terrible person. Suddenly her eyes welled up with tears. I hate myself so much. I can never forgive myself for what I did. Hey, whoa. She watched her with trepidation. She looked like she might start bawling at any minute. What's the matter? The night my sister was kidnapped, I was supposed to go to a college party with her. Then all of a sudden she told me not to go. I kept asking her why not. She kept insisting I couldn't. Tommy's face was bleak with regret. We both got mad and I wound up blowing up at her. Saving. Alright. Here's the thing. This could go on for a while. And it's great. And I want to continue. But I saw it save. So we're going to continue here next week, finding out what's going on in this whole brand new hour with so much more plot that we got to figure out. We have a lot going on, and I am super, super interested. And I'm the most interested in Maria's story still, because there's just so much there to uncover, and just big twist, and it's great. But yes, anyways, so I'm pretty sure I will see you all next week. Double checking. Yes. Next week at the normal time. It should be good. It should be a good time. It'll be November, which is weird. So happy Halloween, everyone, ahead of time. Please, please enjoy the holiday. It is my favorite holiday of all the year. And, you know, it's good spooky time. So please celebrate in some way, shape, or form. I'll definitely like to hear about it later. Yes, indeed. So, wszystkiego strasznego. That's great. I love it. All right. So for now, good night, everyone. And happy Halloween.